canal, and I went on a boat called a Margaret, which is from my Kensington Foundation, and I would like to share with you the interviews that I made there. Now, our daughter Tim, which is one of my crew today.
That's right.
So, Tim,
Yes.
what is your company name?
Well, the boat is called the Margaret Kane. The project is called the Margaret Kane Project, and it's owned by a company or a charity called Kensington Foundation. The boat is just coming up to 8 years old. We had it built brand new, and I've worked with it for 8 years on the boat. Yeah, well, I've worked for the charity for nearly 20 years. But all the other skippers and crew, they're all volunteers. They don't get paid, they just come on and do it voluntarily. I work for the charity that own the boat. And there's a heron over there if you want to have a look at a heron. You see it in the field over there? Well, that's a hard question. I think this one's my favourite boat, the Margaret Kane. Yeah, the project has another boat called the Tavy Cleve. That's a 1964 wooden boat. And that's a nice boat as well. I've been on that lots of times. And we used to use hire boats down in Cheshire when we first started off doing it, taking youth groups around boats. And that was called the Friendship 2000. That's what that boat was called. Thank you for asking a member of your crew to do an interview.
Count me in.
3, 2, 1.
Well, hello, and we are doing another interview, and I am going to interview Mike on my right and Bob on my left. So, Bob, what boat have you been most on?
Well, I sailed mostly on the Margaret Kane, which is this boat. Yeah, she's a lovely boat.
Yeah.
She's about 10 years old now.
I think it's 8 years old, Tim told me.
8 years isn't right. Well, Tim's probably right, because Tim tells me he's never ever wrong. So she's 58 feet long, and she weighs 28 tons.
Okay.
Okay? She's specially designed as a charity boat to take people with a variety of disabilities so that they can enjoy a nice holiday.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here today with you.
Yes. Thank you. But what other boats have you been on?
Well, the charity that we volunteer for also has another very small boat called Tavy Cleve, and she's needed lots and lots of work. But there's two of the volunteers who nearly rebuilt it from nothing, and she's now won prizes at a festival in Stratford-on-Avon. So next summer she'll be available for cruising for the charity.
Oh, okay. Now, Mike, how did you get into the charity?
How did I get involved with the boat charity? I got into the boat charity by knowing the people who work on the boat permanently, who were my friends, and I was asked to help out with crewing, which I'm still a crew member as yet. I've not done my skipper certificate yet, I'm just a crew, so it was just friends to
Okay. Well,
introduced by friends I used to work with many years ago. They invited me to come and join the boat as a crew. And then after 2 years of being a crewman, I was invited to take my qualification to become a skipper. So take a little examination and a test, and if we pass that, we qualify as a skipper. So that means we can take any community boat on the canal, on any canal in England. So it's very worthwhile taking the skipper's test.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
One extra question tonight. When you'll get your qualification to become a skipper?
When do I think? Well, it's an opportunity at the end of the summer. At the moment, the boat's busy, obviously taking people out most of the weeks and most of the days. So at the end of the season, when it goes a bit quieter, I'll have a chance to do a weekend on the boat and get my certificate for doing the skippers. And next year, I might be a skipper. So we'll wait and see.
Thank you.
Okay, Stuart, thank you.
Well, thank you for watching our interview today, and that's the end of the interviews today. So now I'm going to interview Helen, which this is my last day here on the boat, so we'll end my holiday with an interview. So, Helen,
Yes.
what did Tim say when he came back and told you that you got a job as a volunteer?
Well, I was very excited that I was allowed to volunteer on the boat because it's a lovely job and I get to do it on lovely days like today when the sun's shining, but sometimes I have to do it when it's raining and I get very wet.
Oh. And how did Tim get in? Well, what did he say?
Tim said, "Well done, Helen, you're allowed to be a volunteer on the boat."
Yes,
I'm one of the crew.
but what did you feel on the first? What did you feel like on the first day there?
When I was volunteering on the first day,
Yeah.
well, it was a lovely sunny day like today and I felt very happy because there was a lovely family on, a bit like your family,
Yeah.
and we all got to meet each other and have a lovely day on the boat.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Was it this boat?
It was this boat.
Yeah. And what boats have you been on in part from this one?
Apart from this boat, the Margaret, I've been on one other boat called the Tabby Cleave, and she's a wooden boat that can sleep 2 people, and she is on this canal as well, but we haven't seen her, have we, today?
So, which bay is she parked?
She's not in this marina, she's just on the canal. Okay?
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what were you doing when Tim came back?
When Tim came home,
Yeah.
he told me I was a volunteer.
Yeah.
I was making tea. Making his tea because he'd been on the boat that day and was very hungry.
Yeah.
That's 5 questions now.
That's the end of my interviews of summer 2014. But before we go, I would like to say thank you to Kensington Foundation for lending us the boat, and I would also like to say thank you to Trevor Sons Children's Charity for paying for our holidays. So thank you, everyone.